Welcome back, ladles and jelly spoons, to Friday 5-minute facts. We've made it to end of month and we're still broadcasting from Britain's first and only airborne subterranean studio, and we're still looking at the Killzone series. Today we're looking at Killzone's handheld games that you might have missed, you know, while you were busy with your real life.
Is this the shooty one with the men in the masks?
Yes, Keith, yeah, the very same. Well, I'm quite surprised that you know anything about it, considering your gaming experience extends to the fruit machine down the Dog and Duck.
I'll have you know, I once got 3 cherries in a row. Won myself a whole 15 pence. Bought myself half a jammy dodger.
Oh, it really is thrilling minute with you, isn't it? Right, now, today, ladles and jelly spoons, we're focusing on 2 Killzone titles that landed on Sony's portable systems. You got Killzone Liberation for PSP and no Killzone Mercenaries for the PS Vita.
Speaking of liberation, did you know that iced tea was popularised in the 1904 St. Louis World Fair? Heatwave pushed vendors to serve chilled versions of their confectionaries to the crowds. That's why I call it liberated tea.
Thanks Keith for that completely relevant fact. Right, let's start with Killzone Liberation, shall we, from 2006. Unlike every other gaming series, Liberation took a bold step away from first-person perspective.
Oh, so you could see your own legs. Marvellous.
It's better than that, Keith. It was a third-person shooter, the only one in the entire Killzone series. You got to see your character from behind as you moved about.
That sounds a bit rude if you ask me, looking at someone's behind.
Liberation were also unique because it was the only Killzone game to be rated T for teen by the ESRB. All the other games received M for mature ratings.
Yes, like me. I'm very immature. I put my own socks on this morning.
Now, here's something interesting for those of you who missed it first time around. Liberation got a second lease of life back in June of 2023 when Sony released an updated version for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. They added some fancy new features like trophy support, quick saves and some visual filters.
Like Instagram.
Not exactly, Keith. Now, if you've got PlayStation Plus Premium, you can play it without spending any extra cash.
Well, I've got a premium Tetley tea bag at home. I'm saving it for the Queen's visit.
The Queen died in 2022, Keith.
What? God, next you'll be telling me Ronnie Barker's gone.
Let's move on and talk about Killzone Mercenaries from 2013, shall we? It was PS Vita's offering, and it was the first Killzone game where players fought alongside both the Helghast and the ISA forces.
Is that a bit like playing for both Manchester United and Liverpool?
It's actually not a bad comparison, Keith. You're basically a gun for hire, a mercenary who works for whoever pays.
Oh, I see. Like me at the BBC Christmas party.
Mercenaries were the first proper first-person shooter Killzone game on a handheld device. Now, it featured a silent protagonist. It's the only game in its series to do so.
I was silent for 3 days once. Doctor found half a jammy dodger lodged in my throat.
Now, Mercenaries also boasted the largest weapon cache in any Killzone game, giving players plenty of options for dispatching baddies.
Speaking of large caches, did you know badgers are one of the few animals that practice delayed implantation? They mate in the summer, but the fertilised eggs don't implant until winter, so the cubs are born in early spring.
Now, how is that remotely similar to weapons caches?
Well, they're both storing something for later use, aren't they?
Moving on, Mercenaries recycled several clips from previous Killzone games in its cutscenes. You can call it efficiency or lazy, it's your choice really. Sorry I'm late, chaps. I got caught up playing the demo level of Mercenaries for the 9th time today.
Here he is, our resident expert. Go on then, tell us something interesting about these Killzone games that we haven't covered yet.
Well, Mercenaries was game changing because it blurred the moral lines between the ISA and the Helghast for the first time in the series. Previous games had painted the Helghast as clear villains, but Mercenaries showed us that both sides had dirty hands.
Unlike Keith here, whose hands are permanently stained with tea.
Yes, Earl Grey. 1987 vintage.
And Liberation's control scheme was actually brilliant for its time. They managed to make the shooter work on the PSP's limited button layout when many others failed.
Unlike Keith's attempt to work the studio coffee machine, which ended up with the fire brigade being called.
I maintain that was the machine's fault. no tea maker should have that many buttons.
Both games pushed their respective handhelds to their limits graphically. Mercenaries practically looked almost PlayStation 3 quality on the Vita's small screen.
Well now, remember, if you enjoyed this blast from the portable past, hit the old like button harder than Keith hits the floor after his 4th pint.
That was one time and there was a badger loose in the pub.
Make sure to subscribe for more retro shenanigans.
Yeah, thanks for watching Friday 5-minute facts from the Orbital Broadcast Bunker here. Like, share and of course subscribing. Maybe consider buying Keith a new teapot because his current one's got something growing in it that could feature in the next Killzone game.
I've called him Herbert.